So the flow of the Maamar. Again, the central question is to understand why the beautiful Knesher or Kino, this Yoir, which he says later is the Yoir of Rachamim Rabbim, that he didn't get this. Why? Because it's all Yitzenu K'ishen Ein. It's all precipitated by, he guards them like the apple of his eye. So it comes out at the end. So the answer to the question is that what's the Inyan K'ishen Ein? So first he established at the beginning of the Maamar that Einayim Stam, that's not a relationship with the Pnimius of Alikus. That's Malachim, it's Svirus. At Ishen Einoi, that's the Pnimius of Alikus. That was established at the beginning. But then he explained at the end that Ishen Einoi is the Avodas HaTshuva. The kudda of the beer of the Maamar, the Yuvan, comes in the whole beer of the Srafim and the Yifanim and Chayes HaKodesh. That's the Yuvan, that's the whole crux of the matter. And what comes out there, we're going ahead of ourselves, we're going to get to in a moment, is the Inyan of the Gival, the Rash Godel. But the Rash Godel comes only through Cyrus. Only Dafka because they're B'tzimtzim and distant. It's through that the Shar, the true connection, the open gateway. So that he said is Avodas HaTorah Mitzvahs B'chlal in Eilam Hazeh. How do you arrive at, even in the most rarefied, elevated Avodah of Torah Mitzvahs, it's Harvanya, it's work to decipher and distill halachas, like unlocking the hairs, sinus, his locks. His locks are like curly, and the word is tail, which is a mound, which is an allusion to the tail talpiers, the tilim halachas, the mounds and mounds of halachas, Lashon Chazal. So that's through Cyrus, that's through Tzimtzum. That is not Iker. The Iker Avodah of the Cyrus that elicits the Gewalt is Avodas HaTshuva. And that's the beer of Ishen Einoi, the apple of his eye, which is the Etzem Koyach HaRiyah, which represents the Etzem of the Kus L'mayla and the Etzem of the Neshama L'mata, and how is it revealed Kishin in the darkness in Avodas HaTshuva. That's the Nakud of the mind. And that elicits the Rachamim Rabbim, the Eibishter's response. Knesher Kino, and that carrying us on his wings and leading us alone is the tikkun of the mitzvahs aseh, mitzvahs lois aseh, moreover, a new hamshacha. That's the bekissim. Is that clear? That's the whole build of the Maamar, basically. So now in our, what is Maamar? It's an unusual Maamar. It just doesn't spoon feed us. That's for sure. As each step is clearly a building block to the next one, or the puzzle comes together. It's not so possible. This whole arichas, the whole arichas and shituf, that a yid is commanded to preclude shituf, mitzvah the yachadai. It's obviously all tied in. That's the gewalt. That's the ultimate gewalt. The gewalt is that any level of sense of separation, which the Srafim, which the Yifanim and the Chayes HaKodesh feel, so that's shituf. That's some kind of shituf, and that's the gewalt that they're seeking themselves to overcome, as it were, acknowledging their own inherent deficiency. That's the hemshachat body. I'm inviting everybody to learn that this is actually a beautiful.
Why do you say that the Malachim have are challenged with their own connection?
That's the whole Rash Godel. The Srafim are not.
Because Rash, because they don't understand. He explains.
No. Don't understand means. Yeah, what don't they understand? What is it they don't understand? Well, they don't understand their source, their Getlichkeit, where they come from, and therefore they're like, I'm going nuts. No, that's not.
They can't figure it out.
They come from the Eibishter. Well, what's the big mystery?
What's the difference between the creations of Bria and Yetzirah? Bria is quiet. Why is it quiet? Because it has a clear understanding of what's going on in Atzilus. Mashenkin, the creations in Yetzirah and down are
why can't are they daft? Explain it to them. Understand.
Are they what?
Daft. D-A-F-T. Stupid. Can't understand. But what's the problem? Get a better teacher.
Get a better teacher. They can't. As good as they go, they're still not programmed to be able to even understand, and therefore they're frustrated. They accept it, but they're frustrated.
What's not to understand? The Eibush is the only reality. I mean, what's not to understand?
So then, what's the difference between the Nevi'im and Olam Bria and Yetzirah?
The difference is this: what are they struggling with? Because they do understand. They understand that the Eibush is the only reality, but they feel like they're Metzius. Can't reconcile that. That's what they cannot reconcile. That's what they can't understand. That's the Gewalt.
How could it be that if the Eibush is only Metzius, or the Eibush is only Metzius, they feel they're a certain level of Yeshus or Metzius?
It's Shittuf, which is the Hemshech of the whole mind, which is the Shittuf that they are naturally. I mean, they're repeating this continuously because they're created this way. It's not through their Bchira. And so the whole reason that Hashem created them this way, we should think about it every day, is to give us chizuk and idun and make us understand that our avodah is the gewalt. We meditate on the gewalt of the fanim and the chayis hakodesh, and how much, and apply it to ourselves, how much more so. And then through avodah satshuva, they're stuck in their gewalt. That's it. It's all they're left with. But the truth is, they say Baruch Hashem in koimai. On some level, they do connect. So it's a template for us to know that that's right before Avas Olam Shema Yisrael. But that's what Eibush wants. You will sit down to the world sightless, a tremendous symptom, and there's going to this and you know the truth. We know God's only reality. We know it's not a secret. It's not a secret. It says Shema Yisrael Hashem Lakeinu Hashem Echad. They know it's written. So the Gewalt is, and that's our Gewalt. We also know the truth, but Gewalt, never Shabbat, I feel separate, and all the things I'm struggling with. That's what Eibush wants, is that not make peace with the Matzav, the Gewalt, and that's Avodah Satshuva, Teremisus in general, but Avodah Satshuva, and that's the Shah, that's what connects to the Etzem, Einoi, Sev Kalam, in whatever language, the truth. So what about Elam Abriya? What's Elam? Why is it not Gewalt in Elam Abriya? Because Elam Abriya understands and experiences that the Esses Svidus, which is the beginning of what? Of otherness, it's all his shleimus. It's all him. They understand that. Feel it. They understand means they Pnimius. And Seraphim, therefore, they burn up. Here's the Nakuda. They beautifully, naturally, and every day, every moment, burn up their sense of separation. We are talking about Malach, but we understand the whole Metzias, understand the Pnimius, that we are a result of the Esesvidus of Atzilus. And what's Atzilus? Something else. So the Likus is the Eibush is choosing to reveal himself in this way. And so therefore, they burn up their sense of separation. But the Seraphim, they can't get low, they can't lose their sense of separation. They can't lose it. They're stuck inside it. They're stuck in that tzimtzum. They can know it from today till tomorrow, but they can't lose it. And that's the Gewalt. But the Elam Abriya loses the sense of independence. Seraphim, there's the Havana, the Pnimius, and so they burn it up, they lose it. So all is good. Ein Ed Levada.
But they're not, at the end of the day, they're Bria. They're not Atzilus. They are separate. And if they're so wise, they don't realize that. So why aren't they similar to Seraphim, which are all going bananas? Bria, which has a bigger understanding, should even be l'chayra more the Nivraim and Bria.
Because their understanding is not just Yediyas HaMetzias. It's Yediyas HaMahus. In the Elam HaYitzir and Asiya, in the Elam Hazim, how much more so we know the Metzias, the truth, Ein Levada. But the Mahus to experience it, no. But since Elam HaBriya, the Tzimtzum, is relatively less, and it's the first level right after Atzilus, therefore there's the Gilui of Elikus, and therefore Serafim, therefore because they experience the truth of Elikus, there's the constant, we are a Metzias, but we're going to burn it up, and they burn it up. Surrender, in a constant state of surrender, the truth of Ein Levada. Because they experience it. It's Elam HaYitzir, that's what starts, the Emes Elam HaBriya is Bina, it's Havana. We put, it's true, Biyah, it's one category, but the Emes is that Briya, the constant Sugyas Chassidus on this, what Briya really is the appreciation of Atzilus. Atzilus is. And Briya is understanding that and appreciating that and being this battle to it. Hence the Serafim and this battle to Atzilus. Atzilus is, there's no Malachim in Atzilus, there's no otherness altogether. It's a Likus revealed in Estes Spheres. Al-Rebbe couldn't say the word Atzilus, you know that. He couldn't say Atzi, he couldn't continue. And he wrote it, Aleph Tzadik, you couldn't write it out either. Because Al-Rebbe, when he wrote it, he experienced it. And complete bittul, he can't continue writing. Like Moishe Rabbeinu was Kvad Peh, couldn't speak. Couldn't speak. There were therapists there too in the stomach to help him. The point was, he was in a total state of bittul that speak. The Eibishter says, yes, okay, it was a constant struggle to express himself. Standing in such bittul and all before the Eibishter. Serafim, Salderach Serafim. But much greater chiddush when it happens down here, Lamata, in a Gufa Nevesh Abamis, when you have Bechira to ignore the whole thing, which Malachim do not have. So again, the fulcrum of the Maimer, the Yuvna Inyan, what to remember is this, that's the Nakud, is the Gewalt of the Strafim, and Lachuret, what's the Hemshech HaDvarim? The Gewalt is to overcome Shittif. Because they are Shittif, the Malachim. What do the Muslim believe? But the Malachim have a sense of independence on some degree, and it's all filtered through them. And they know this, they feel this independence, and that's what they're trying to overcome. Know this, Mimi. But we know the truth, but I do feel independent. I just got last night a clip of a Verbrengen of Mendel Marozov, Mendel Futterfass. Mendel Marozov sent it to me. It's in Yiddish. It's in Yiddish, so I'll post it. But some of you speak Yiddish, so I don't know if you ever heard his Verbrengen? A little bit. It's not a lot, it's not recorded. But you will, the Kudi speaks, there's the song that the Shem is by the Kel Bayar and Yishemeya voice in the, you know, that song, it's from Shpala Zayda. We should teach it. Kel Bayar and Yishemeya. One of the most beautiful songs. They used to sing it rather sometimes. I don't think Rebbe liked it to be sung, but it was too emotional for him. Rebbe didn't like the Dvekas Dikin. He liked them, but he didn't see them early on. He once said in the Verbrengens, they were singing, like I said, they do these Dvekas Dikin, they couldn't got going longer. Rebbe said, you want to make me depressed? Die machen keinen Butten von Herzen. So the Rebbetzin, I heard from one of the Levi Weinberg, that Rebbetzins wife said that my father by nature was a lot of a he was a jovial fellow. Rebbe was very by nature, and he liked therefore Dvekas they can be good. And the man, the husband, by nature is the opposite, very serious and not depressed, but just serious and introverted, and therefore he wants the opposite. He wants Freilichen good. So they didn't, very rarely did they sing these Dvekas to be Nigunim by the devil. And Kel Bayar is a very emotional song. You could see a few times that they did how they were just, you see the change. So yes, Rabbi Mendel is bringing so the song talks about the we want to come back, but there's There is a guard by the door. Doesn't let us. Who's the guard? Shabbat is the self that we're constantly struggling with, that is compelling us to wrap it up in our ego. So that's the Gewalt. That's Avodah Tshuva. What's Avodah Tshuva? What does a person sin? Because his ego, the Shabbat, his Yitzhak got the better of him. And he's overcoming it. The Gewalt, no. He doesn't want to be separate. And therein lies the Ishan Einoi, and that's Kino, Kino, and that's the whole Kavanah. Okay, that's the overview. Let's continue plowing through, as it were, surveying the Maamar. So we're up to, Dalit. What?
Dalit.
Yeah. Every Maamar is enough for a lifetime, but this Maamar for sure, you know. So the Indian is, what's the Indian? This follows what? This ought to explain Shituf, that Eden are commanded L'yachadoi, not even Shituf. To understand that is the Zohar on the Pasuk Ru'ata Sinau Ke'ani Anihu. I am he, ve'ein elikim imani. So the Zohar asks, what's the Ata now? The Ani Anihu, the Zohar doesn't ask a question. That's understood. So he explains why, because Ani Anihu is the chibur of Hava, Havayin Elikim, which means Elikus revealed Lamata. This is Hamshach to the previous Maamarim. Maamar Matam Nitzavim Shuv Yisrael, that the whole Avodah, the Zohar says, the Pekuda Kadma, the primary commandment is to know that Havayin Elikim. Yeah? So that's not the Shad. The Shad is the Atta. That's Lasid Lava. So what's the now? Now, to understand the question, we have to appreciate the difference between Tchias HaMeisim and Gan Eden. Makes the question stronger. And that is, the Gan Eden is Chalkos. The true Achtus Hashem is not revealed. And that's why there's Gan Eden Atacht and Gan Eden Elyon. Now he asked the question. I can give you the answer to this question. Why there's only 2 levels? No, there's many levels. So why only say 2 levels? Why not say there's many levels? You know the answer to that question. What of the Imanov? Are you call it 1 level, Gan Eden, or say there's many levels? Why divide into 2? It doesn't answer the question. It just says overall, it's because it is divided into 2 general categories. It doesn't answer the question. We know the answer. The answer is the Gan Eden Elyon is Boichen Genetacht and is Midas. It's interesting. There's a whole lot of richness in the question that doesn't. He just says.
Why don't you say because from a Malakalam, at the end of the day, it's so limited.
No. You don't need the question. He's asking why is Gan Eden divided into only 2 levels. The fact is, there's myriads of levels. So therefore, why say 2? Either say just Gan Eden period, or say Gan Eden and all of its levels. Why is in Chazal, are we dividing it only into 2? And his answer is because even though there's myriads of levels, they fall under 2 general categories. He does not say what they are. Look at the top of page Chavav, and if you have the same layout. And that's the answer to Mamanavsha, which he asked before. And then say there should be madreges, or give each one a name. Well, and there's many madreges. And why are we calling it 2? Answer there's 2 general categories. What there it doesn't say. So I'm telling you it's Moichen and Midas. All to say this is Chalkos. But Tchias HaMeisim is madrege achas. Now what about the fact that there's many chilukim madreges, that one tzaddik is singed from the chuppah of his fellow, So he answers, that's only madregas, proteus. The Bachlal, it's one madrega. So we and the Shadish that is, because Gan Eden is a Malakal Almin, whereas Tchias HaMeisim is a Sevev Kalam. There's a whole arichas over here. So therefore, there's levels of Gan Eden, and there's a Seder, and there's a Din Mishpat, and it's worth to go to Gehenna in order to get to that. The Larichas said that the pain of it from the Ramban, quoted in Tanya, that Eve's pain for 70 years doesn't come to 1 hour, 1 shah, 1 hour, 1 moment in Gehenna. It's still worth it to get to the Tanugim of Gan Eden, even Gan Eden HaTchach. There's this Chalkos, and there's the bit, then you have to go through the Har Dinur, the river of fire, and there's the Aliyah, there's the Omer, the Aliyah. So, summary, that's all Mamala Kalam, and therefore is Chalkos. So it's interesting, this Harichas is not really in the gear to the point, but we get it. We're receiving it. Tchias HaMeisim is Eir Yisaf, HaSev Kol Almin, no is Chalkos. Chinas Achaz B'derech Klal. And therefore, Kol Yisrael Yeshem B'chelik Elam Haba. Only Elam Haba. So the lost love, so when we look at the mind that we're explaining, so what does this mean? It's one madrege, but then you can only just there are lower madreges, right? So what do we explain? We explain that the one madrege means that then in the shleimus of the kavana being realized, the one overarching madrege is this ava kadosh baruch hu v'yistei dir b'tachtayim. One nakud. And that's the reason why we're there, as it were, dawns on the neshamas. This reveals it now before Mashiach comes. But that's when it's revealed that it's about Eibush's desire for you. So therefore, so you wanted this from me, you wanted that from me. That's why he wants to go to the chuppah of the tzaddik. In contrast to Gan Eden, classic Gan Eden is whatever you do, you get reward. You do more, you get more rewarded. Do less, you get less rewarded. It isn't the gilui of the Rotz and the Elyon of the Dida B'Tachtainim, which is why the Neshamas get seduced in Gan Eden. They go up there and they promise they're not going to, the tzaddikim promise they're not going to enter to Mashiach comes, and they did, because the reward you did, you get lost in the reward. The Kavon Elyon is somehow clouded, is lost, is obscured by the brilliance, the light of Gan Eden. And nobody is trying to get into somebody else's thing, because that's yours. This is my reward. I don't understand what you did even. I don't care. This is what I did, and I'm enjoying the fruit of my labor. But by Tchias HaMeisim, it's not what you did, what I did. It's the Kavon Elyon. The Kavon Elyon. So you wanted this from me, and I just ignored it. Okay. So you try to get in. Be part of that. So that's why it's one level. It's one level. The Kavana. In Gan Eden, it's not the Kavana, it's your reward for your work. So concluding, so lost love is ani anihu. It's going to be the chibur of what of Sefer Mamale, which means in simple language, there'll be this gala, the mata, the Kavana, Elyoina, Atzmos, the etzem, Ishin Einoi, etzem koichari, all these. This language, with this gala, the mata, as the kavana is realized. So that all underscores the question. The pasuk says, how is this possible now? So if you've behektim, now came the whole beer of the srafim, the chayis they found. To answer this, and to answer what's the avoid of Ki'ishin Einoi, and it's all one Lakunat, this all Gewalt that we have to overcome now, or experience, not overcome the gewalt, overcome the distance now. Although when he spells Avapize Yuvan, it's so elaborate. In order 77, they give a shtickle beer, we'll look at it again, which some say wasn't in the mind, was in the sicha. You see this. And then they acknowledge that the answer to the question of Havaya Mircha, Havaya Mata, Havaya Mircha, B'chlal is not in the mind. So for Yuvan again, but even Behekta, this ice is really the whole fulcrum, the whole anchor of the whole mind. So we were talking about earlier today, so we will just wrap it up. Actually, we won't. We'll stop here. There's nothing wrong. Monday, the final look at it.